Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to day 36 of Commercial Diving School. We are now starting week 8 this week. Today was a little bit different from any other day we've done so far in Commercial Diving School, and I'll talk about that in a second. But first, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Remember to leave a like if you enjoyed, and leave any comments or questions for me down below. Now, what I mean by it was very different from any day that we've done so far is that we actually did PT this morning. We're not allowed to call it PT, so it was technically light stretching because they actually used to do PT before the coronavirus hit. They would, muster at about 6 in the morning, and they would, do a full hour of, workouts and good cardio. They would even, I think, get in the water, and they would, be in their wetsuits and fins and everything, and do their like flutter kicks with their fins on and everything like that. But the coronavirus, they stopped all that stuff. So a couple guys, they were just saying like, hey, why don't we like do some PT stuff? Like, I thought we were gonna do that before we got to the school, and now we just muster at 8 and we just skip all that PT stuff, what happened and everything. So the instructor was like, all right, you want to, let's go outside, right now. So we went to one of like the bridges or whatever, and we stretched, and then we did 3 different things. We only did jumping jacks and flutter kicks and bodybuilders, and then we like did a cool down stretch, and everybody was like feeling really out of shape. And I mean, the whole thing lasted about like 15-20 minutes. And then the instructor was kind of giving us a lesson on like the bridge and the piles. And in my previous videos, I've actually been calling like the columns, that hold up bridges, pylons, like you climb up the pylon. We were just told today that they're called piles, not pylons. Don't say pylons. So there's a lot to learn about that with commercial diving, because you're going to be, you could be diving under bridges, and could be working on piles of bridges. So but anyways, so for breakfast this morning, it was bacon, eggs, and coffee cake. And then fast forward through PT, I already covered that. After PT, we started our lesson on non-destructive testing. So non-destructive testing, I know I've seen a couple jobs listed on like Facebook and stuff like that, asking for those those qualified divers and everything. We're starting to learn about that today, and basically it's there's like 3 different levels, and then they go like, one is very simple, like not simple, but it's more like visual, and then it goes to more complex as you go through, level 2 and level 3. And basically you want to inspect the integrity of a structure or something like that. So if you're diving offshore on an oil rig, the company owns the oil rig, so they want to test to make sure that it's doing okay and holding up to the elements and stuff like that. And you're pretty much just taking measurements and readings and stuff like that. So that's a little bit of introduction to non-destructive testing. So after that, we went to lunch, and we had fried pork fritters, which is basically like chicken fried steak, but it's pork. And then mashed potatoes and gravy, and green beans, corn, and a dinner roll. After lunch, we finished up our lesson on non-destructive testing, and we actually were given a handout with fill in the blanks for this lesson, like previous lessons that we've done. So we filled that out. Another reason why today was very different was because we were actually working in groups today, which is the first time we were actually working on a group project. So we split up into about 5 groups, and I think there's 4 groups of 5 and then a group of 2 people. And our job was to basically come up with, in our group, we come up with a name of a company or our company, what we want our company to be called, and then we come up with a slogan, come up with a logo, come up with it's supposed to be diving company, so it's diving themed, and which is pretty cool because that's an actual real thing that a lot of people, startup companies, think of their own name. So if you're ever interested in that, like, I thought that would always be cool to think of my own company name and stuff like that. But anyways, we would come up with the phone number, like a email, like a website name, like came up with all these different things, and like a mission statement and that kind of thing. And then you come up with a inspection report. Like, what are the things that we're going to report about, a non-destructive test that we would do. So what we're going to do is we're going to go out to the dive station tomorrow, and we're going to, like, one of the members of our group is going to dive, and then we're going to have a person on comms, and then we're going to have a tender, and then we're going to have a soup and an A soup, maybe something like that, where every single person in our company has a job. So it's kind of simulating like an actual company, with the different roles that everybody does. Everybody has their own part, and we're like a competing company against the other groups, so kind of simulating that and playing that role. So but our actual mission is for our diver to inspect a sunken boat. And there's actually a boat that you'll actually lift up using like lift bags and filling barrels with air, but that's in the senior module, not year. Yeah, we'll actually lift that boat as seniors, but right now we're just going to be inspecting it, because a customer is actually going to, hire us as the company to inspect this wreck or boat or whatever you want to call it. And so it's sitting on the riverbed, right next to that dive station right now, and I think it has a line attached to it. And basically we're going to send a diver down there, and they're going to, kind of measure arm length, like how long it is and how deep it is into the, mud, and, kind of get a general, look or schematic of, what this structure is. Just get a general observation of what this structure is. So that's basically what we're going to do, and we're going to write it up in a report and basically have like a cover page and come up with like a packet of our own that, we're going to present to the customer, like, hey, this is the job that we did, and this is all the data we came up with and stuff like that. So it is definitely different that we did, light stretching this morning, and also that we, are working in groups, and that we all get to play, like, play, but I mean, like, we get to be in like different roles right now. So yeah, that's basically everything we did today. We're gonna dive tomorrow, like I said, and that's gonna be very weird. I feel very weird about tomorrow because only like 5 people get to dive, so only 5 people get, 4 or 5, maybe 5 get bottom time and everything. So we'll see how it goes. Definitely stay tuned for that. I definitely will have lots to cover and talk about, and how everything goes tomorrow. So stay tuned for that. Thank you guys so much for watching. That's all I have for today's video. If you like, leave a like, subscribe if you haven't already. Leave any comments or questions for me down below, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.